Night fell gently over the garden, casting blue shadows on the earth still warm from the day. The wind carried the fragrance of ripe fruit, and the streams whispered tranquil songs. Eden was perfect, untouched, eternal. But beneath its beauty, something was hidden, a secret buried in the heart of paradise. Adam slept, his body resting beneath the fig trees. But Eve could not sleep. Something within her stirred, something growing in her mind like underground roots, silent and persistent. The garden was vast, but every path was known. Every answer had been given before she could even form the question. It was this feeling that would not let her rest. She walked alone, her bare feet sinking into the damp earth. She had been told that the world outside the garden was chaos, disorder, and that inside they were safe. But security and captivity can be two sides of the same coin. Then she saw it. The serpent was entwined in the branches of the forbidden tree, motionless, as if waiting. Its eyes were black as bottomless wells, and there was something in it unlike any other creature in Eden. It was not submissive. It was not tamed. And the serpent spoke, not with words, but with a look that said everything Eve had never heard. You know there is something beyond this. And Eve knew. She did not know how, but she knew. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil had never seemed so beautiful. Its trunk pulsed with silent force. Its fruits exuded an intoxicating aroma. They had always been there, within reach, but covered by an invisible barrier, the fear of the unknown. The truth was this: Adam never asked. He accepted, but Eve felt. Eve questioned. She reached out her hand. The skin of the fruit broke under her teeth, and then everything changed. It was not an explosion. It was not a curse. It was an awakening. The world that had once been a painting in soft tones became vibrant, pulsing. She saw the nuances of colors, felt the texture of the wind against her skin, perceived the subtle vibration of the trees around her. For the first time, she understood that she was part of something greater than just that garden. But along with knowledge came fear, guilt, the awareness of loss. Adam found her there, frozen, and his eyes shone with a mix of fascination and horror. She knew something he did not, and that terrified him. But how could he live beside her and remain blind? He took the fruit from her hands and ate. The night seemed darker. The wind felt colder. And then they heard the footsteps. God walked through the garden. He called them. Adam hesitated. For the first time, he hid. He had never felt shame before, had never felt the weight of responsibility. God asked what they had done, but he did not need the answer. He already knew. The decision was made. There was no longer a place for them there, not because he hated them, but because they themselves no longer belonged to Eden. God placed cherubim to guard the gates, for now. If they returned and ate from the tree of life, they would live forever, but they would live with the anguish of knowledge, with the awareness of death and time. And so they left, but there is a detail they never told. Adam and Eve looked back one last time, expecting to see Eden fade into the distance. But it was still there, untouched, as if nothing had happened. And among the trees, the serpent watched. Perhaps it was never a villain. Perhaps it was an angel in disguise. Perhaps it was the guardian of a secret that no one was ever meant to know. Perhaps original sin was never a curse. Perhaps it was the first step toward freedom.